There used to be a time that all people were quite morally strong. They had to be, because the world was a dangerous place to live in. And they would produce food for themselves and their families and for other people if they sold it or they traded it in the local market. And at that time you had silver currencies or gold currencies, which were finite and were used locally, kept by a bank to keep them safe from robbers. And the bank had a good function in society because it was keeping the money safe and it was considering where to put it in the economy. It could help people by giving it money, and that was already the first sign that it had more power than it actually should have. But in those times it was quite modest, the effects of this thing that you see in front of you, the money. With fractional reserve banking and the abolishing of the gold standard, this piece of paper has become the currency, literally, of life in the United States, but all around the world, the fiat currencies. And nobody can do anything, and nothing can happen without this stuff. You know, you used to have people that just, and I think you still have a lot of people that do things for nothing. They don't ask any money for it. Why? Because they like a certain quality of life, because they like to serve others, to help them, to care for other people. And that's why they do things. They're motivated without this stuff. But because the banks have a monopoly on this stuff and they are lending it out and then are charging interest and creating an environment in which prices rise, because you can borrow money to buy stuff, so then you can make the stuff more expensive because the buyer will accept a loan with an interest in order to buy it. In that environment, every transaction becomes monetized, or I don't know how you would call that, but it becomes tainted with this stuff, with money. And savings disappear and everybody is in debt, and that's the situation we have right now. And I think we should acknowledge that the society has one big, like a mold, like a disease that has permeated into everything, and that is this stuff. It is the borrowed money. It is the debt. You shouldn't see debt as something that is kind of a blemish on your status or on your reputation or your honor. That's the way it's presented, and because people are honorable, they always want to repay their debt. But in the situation that's created right now, that's not really the case, because the people that created the debt for other people were not honorable, and they were actually willfully trying to enslave and capture the process that is natural in the economy. All the economic processes, everything became monetized, everything became tainted and dependent on this stuff. So we should really take a step back and look at the world and realize that the world is a slave to this stuff, this money. And they even made up a name for it. It's you have the real economy and the financial economy, and of course there's nothing but the real economy, and the financial economy is nothing but guilt in people do not wish to go bankrupt, that do not wish to lose their social status. That is what is enslaving them through this stuff that you see in front of you, and we should just get rid of it. Just buy gold and silver and get rid of this stuff and never touch it again.